A few days later, Dr. Attapato received a report about a large, injured tusker in the forest on the east coast. Tamil guerrillas controlled the area, making this mission especially hazardous. We soon located the elephant. Badly injured, it could walk on only 3 legs.
You have to take this chance and put him down and clean the wounds and disinfect the area and give all the antibiotics. Just by giving 1 or 2 darts will not help this animal. Now, like the other day, for the other animal, of course, I didn't do this. But for this animal, I feel whether there's a fracture or not, he should be tranquilized and the necessary treatment should be given. So hopefully another 10-15 minutes time, he'll be tranquilized.
Feeling sleepy from the tranquilizer, the elephant fought to stay awake and upright as long as possible. But a small tree will not support a 5-ton elephant for very long. This was an unusually regal elephant. Only about 10% of the elephant bulls on Sri Lanka develop tusks. Tragically, few of them reach maturity. His left foreleg was completely shot through, and he would probably never be able to use it again.
Ghana, you give it IM. Huh? Give it IM all the drugs what you have prepared. Don't waste time. I'm going to put him up now. I'll give you 1 minute.
With a few resources and manpower available, there was nothing they could do to help this elephant. All that remained was to administer the antidote and wake him up quickly. But the elephant didn't react to the first injection or to the second.
Two cc. Dekha dala hadan. Nanti headlet ini. Headlet. This is what I said before we started it also. That there is a risk of this because he may take longer time. But we can't take much time with him here in this forest because of the security situation here.
To reduce his temperature and hopefully wake him up, They administered saline intravenously, but he still didn't react. Suddenly he awoke and tried to lift his head, but his foreleg wouldn't support him and he fell forward. At first no one understood what had happened, but it soon became clear that the elephant had fallen on his trunk and could no longer breathe. Only a small piece of the trunk was stuck, but his 5-ton body was resting on it. Panic arose as the team realized that they only had seconds to save the elephant. All their efforts were in vain. The elephant's suffering was soon over.
About 15 people tried to take it out, but we couldn't.
A great sadness spread throughout the group. There was no more they could do. Getting out of the jungle before sunset was now a priority, because night here belongs to the guerrilla soldiers. In the early 1990s, the elephant transit home located outside of Uddevalla National Park was established to try to save some of Sri Lanka's wild elephants. Young orphaned and sometimes injured elephants are brought here for medical treatment and preparation for re-release into the wild. Many of the young elephants have psychological problems due to their experiences, a form of post-traumatic stress.
Well, it's always like coming home when I come to elephant transit home, because these are my children. I feel very much relaxed with these babies. And you can see the first infant who came here. Still she can remember how we looked after her. She was on my lap for a number of days in Colombo, and then thereafter we transported him here. By the time we started, there were a lot of controversy saying that this is something which is impossible. But anyway, we have showed now it is possible, and we have achieved very good results. Komali, Komali.
Older elephants train younger elephants, and eventually they form groups with males and females of varying ages. The goal is that these groups will become completely independent and can then be released into one of the animal reserves on the island. Several small herds from the elephant transit home have already been successfully released. What does the future hold for the Asian elephant? Will people and elephants be able to coexist? Are electric fences and large enclosures the only alternative for Sri Lanka's wild elephants? The government doesn't seem to have a plan for the future. Migration routes in other areas vital to the elephants are being exploited and developed. Humans and elephants alike are being killed or injured every day in a conflict that seemingly has no solution. International environmental and wildlife advocates have apparently forgotten or perhaps simply abandoned Sri Lanka's wildlife. Today, Dr. Attapattu and the elephant team are out of business. The government, whether because of a lack of funds, political envy, or negligence, has cancelled all funding, permits, and support of the project. But if Sri Lanka doesn't come up with a viable solution and stop exploitation of sensitive areas, it will soon be too late to save the last elephants of paradise.